Let us now log in as an accountant into the BookTracker system to examine their role in the system. Once logged in, just like the administrator, we're brought to the dashboard displaying the ratios. But unlike the administrator, we're not shown the user statistics information. The accountant has a different view than the admin, as now they have chart of accounts, they have a journal module, as well as a financial statements module, which will have all 4 financial statements, which we'll look at later. If we go to the chart of accounts module, we can see that the accountant does not have the ability to add or edit accounts, but they can still filter through the accounts and click on account number to view the account ledger. Let us now go into the journal module for the accountant. In the journal module, the accountant can see all the journal entries that have been made in the system so far. They can see how many total debits and how much total credits, as well as status for each journal. To view the details of each journal, the accountant can click on View Details and see what account and amount was affected. They can also see what type of journal entry has been made, whether it has been adjusting, regular, closing, or reversing entry. They can filter the journal accounts from a from and a to date picker. They can also filter the journals depending on whether they've been pending, approved, rejected, or suspended. The accountant can also make a new journal entry by clicking New Journal Entry in the top left. When we click the new journal entry, we can see the date is automatically populated to today's date. Also, the accountant can pick what type of entry they're making. Is it regular, adjusting, closing, or reversing? To start off journalizing, they first pick an account to debit. To enter an amount, this table keeps track of all the transactions that the accountant is requesting to submit for the journal entry. The accountant then also picks one account to debit, to credit. As you can see, cash has not been taken out of the list because the system only allows an account to be used once per journal entry. Once the total of the debits and the credits match or equal, the system will allow the user to submit the journal entry. If not, an error message was displayed and the user may not be able to submit the journal entry. Let us now look at the financial statements the journal accountant can view. In the trial balance, we can see the list of accounts and the total amounts debited or credited are displayed. If we click on an account name, we can use the accounts ledger. Finally, you can also see that the totals for the debits and the totals for the credits are equal, showing our entries were correct and their accounts are in balance at $35,675. Let's now take a look at the income statement, where it shows us a list of revenue and expense accounts, and the total is displayed as either net income or net loss, depending on whether the revenues minus expenses. If it's greater than 0, it's displayed as total net income. If it's less than 0, it will be displayed as net loss. Let us now go to the balance sheet. The balance sheet lets us see the value of our assets compared to the liabilities and owner's equity. We also show the accounts affected and the balances for each account. we can see both assets and liabilities are both in balance at $29,925. Let us now go to our last final financial statement, our statement of returned earnings, where we can see the returned earnings for the previous period, which is the begin retaining earnings, which is the starting balance, as well as the estimated income for this current period, which is $5,675, before any adjusting or closing entries have been approved. In all four statements, non-zero accounts are not displayed.